This is very serious. Jesus is begging for you. You have been chosen to see this. Don't tell anyone. This will happen in the coming 2 minutes. Open immediately. This video contains an urgent divine message that Jesus specifically wants you to receive right now. This isn't just another spiritual video. It's a direct communication that many will never experience. Jesus has selected you personally from countless others to receive this time-sensitive revelation. The fact that you found this video at this exact moment is confirmation that you were divinely guided here. Something profound is about to happen in your spiritual life within moments of understanding this message. Don't click away or pause, because what you're about to experience could transform your entire spiritual reality in the next 120 seconds. This is a divine appointment that was set before you even woke up today. This isn't an ordinary spiritual message. It's a divine emergency alert about an event that's literally moments away from manifesting in your life. Jesus has been monitoring your spiritual journey with loving concern, noticing both your faithful moments and your times of doubt. Missing what's about to be revealed could mean overlooking a spiritual breakthrough that's been prepared specifically for you. This revelation marks a rapidly closing spiritual window that's opening in your life right now. The countdown has already begun. Jesus cares so deeply about your spiritual destiny that he would be genuinely heartbroken if you failed to recognize what's happening in these crucial moments. That's why this message found you today, at this precise time. Your presence here isn't random coincidence. It's a carefully orchestrated divine moment, designed to align you with a spiritual reality that's unfolding in real time. In less than 2 minutes, something is going to change in your spiritual atmosphere that you need to be prepared for. Every silent prayer you've whispered when heaven seemed distant has been heard. Every tear you've shed during difficult spiritual seasons has been collected. All the times you've wondered if God had forgotten you, yet continued to seek him anyway, have been honored by heaven. Your spiritual struggles haven't gone unnoticed. Those moments when divine experiences seem to happen for everyone except you, Jesus saw your disappointment. The times when your faith felt inadequate, yet you held on anyway. That persistence was recognized in the spiritual realm. The courage it took to keep believing when everything around you suggested otherwise has been deeply valued in heaven. The questions you've carried, sometimes too heavy to share with anyone, have all been acknowledged. The spiritual path is rarely straightforward, and divine communication isn't always obvious. Sometimes it requires a divinely prepared heart to receive. Jesus understands this challenge, which is why he's making this particular message so unmistakable that you can't possibly miss its significance if you're paying attention in these next moments. You were chosen because you've been searching, even when it seemed hopeless. The revelation Jesus is sending you isn't like ordinary spiritual insights. It appears first as an unmistakable knowing in your spirit, a sudden clarity that feels both foreign yet deeply familiar. This divine message will manifest as thoughts that you recognize aren't your own, feelings that seem to come from beyond yourself, and a certainty that transcends logic. You've been instructed not to share this revelation with others because its nature is uniquely calibrated to your specific spiritual frequency. What Jesus is about to reveal speaks in a sacred language tailored to your personal spiritual journey. Sharing it prematurely could dilute its power or cause confusion to those not prepared to receive it. This communication is as personal as a divine fingerprint, designed specifically for the spiritual questions you've been asking and the unique path you've been walking. The message won't make sense to others because it wasn't created for them. Jesus chose this particular revelation because it addresses the exact spiritual threshold you're standing at right now. The window for receiving this personal divine download won't remain open indefinitely. That's why there's such urgency surrounding this moment. When you finally recognize what's being revealed, you'll understand why it had to happen exactly now. In the coming moments, as you continue absorbing this message, a spiritual awakening is beginning within you. Right now, as these words reach you, divine energy is realigning your spiritual perception. Can you feel it? The subtle shift in your awareness, a heightened sensitivity to the spiritual atmosphere around you. This isn't imagination, it's a real, time-divine intervention happening in your spirit. The barriers that have limited your spiritual discernment are being dissolved in these precious seconds. Jesus is opening spiritual eyes that have been partially closed, activating spiritual senses that have been dormant. This immediate transformation begins with a profound peace that defies your circumstances, followed by unusual clarity about your spiritual direction. Thoughts that have been confused are being divinely ordered. Questions that have lingered unanswered are finding resolution in your spirit. This is happening now, not in some distant future. Your spiritual DNA is being recalibrated in this very moment to receive levels of divine communication that were previously inaccessible to you. The countdown that began when you started this video is reaching its culmination, and heaven is watching for your recognition of what's unfolding within you. This divine moment was scheduled specifically for you at exactly this time, because you've reached a critical juncture in your spiritual journey that requires immediate heavenly intervention. You might wonder why you were specifically chosen to receive this urgent message. It wasn't random. Jesus has been observing your spiritual journey with special attention, noticing qualities in you that others might have missed. Your receptive heart, even during difficult seasons, distinguished you from countless others. The persistent questions you've asked, the spiritual hunger you've demonstrated, and the genuine desire for truth you've maintained all contributed to this divine selection. Even when your faith wavered, something in your spirit remained open to heavenly communication. That spiritual receptivity is surprisingly rare. Jesus chooses his messengers carefully, and your selection for this revelation comes with both privilege and responsibility. Being chosen means heaven sees potential in you that perhaps you haven't fully recognized in yourself. Your spiritual sensitivity has been developing in ways you haven't realized. This selection isn't meant to inspire pride, but humble gratitude. You were chosen not because of perfection, but because of your capacity for spiritual growth and genuine connection with the divine. Jesus is investing in your spiritual development because he sees who you're becoming. Your willingness to listen when others have turned away has brought you to this pivotal moment of divine communication. The timing of this revelation isn't coincidental. This precise moment was divinely selected because spiritual forces are aligning in ways that make this communication possible. You've reached a spiritual threshold that has opened a unique window of divine accessibility. Your life experiences have prepared you specifically for what's being revealed right now. The questions you've wrestled with, the challenges you've endured, and the spiritual insights you've gained have all been preparation for this exact moment of revelation. This timing connects to larger spiritual movements happening across the world right now. Many are being awakened simultaneously, though each revelation is uniquely personal. The spiritual atmosphere is particularly receptive during this season, making divine communication more direct and immediate. Your spiritual readiness has coincided perfectly with this divine timing. Had this message come earlier, you might not have been prepared to receive it. Had it come later, the opportunity might have passed. This moment represents perfect divine timing that won't be repeated. The urgency isn't manipulation, but genuine, spiritual reality. These moments of heightened divine communication are precious and fleeting. If you're feeling the power of this divine revelation, please consider sending a super thanks of $5, $10, $20, or whatever amount speaks to your heart. Your support creates a sacred exchange that allows these urgent messages to reach others who are spiritually prepared but haven't yet connected. Your generosity helps sustain this divine work during critical spiritual times when heaven is communicating urgently with those who can hear. When you give, you participate in a spiritual economy that values divine revelation and helps ensure these messages continue to find those chosen to receive them. Your support is an acknowledgement of the spiritual value you've received in these precious moments. Now that you've been chosen and this divine revelation has begun, a response is required. Receiving without responding interrupts the spiritual exchange that heaven has initiated. Your acknowledgement activates the full potential of what's being revealed. First, take a moment of complete silence. Allow the revelation to settle fully in your spirit without distraction. This silent recognition is the beginning of your response. Next, offer a simple prayer of acceptance. Just a few words acknowledging that you recognize what's happening spiritually. Within the next 24 hours, set aside sacred time specifically to reflect on what's being revealed. This dedicated attention demonstrates that you value what heaven is communicating. Write down any insights, impressions, or questions that arise during this reflection. Most importantly, begin watching for confirmation of this revelation in your daily life. Heaven will send multiple confirmations to assure you this experience was genuine. These might appear as repeated numbers, unexpected conversations, or unusual coincidences. Don't share this experience prematurely. Allow it to develop fully within your own spirit before attempting to explain it to others who might not understand its significance or unique personal nature. If this divine moment has awakened something significant in your spirit, please consider blessing this ministry with a super thanks of $5, $10, $20, or whatever amount feels divinely guided. Your support enables these urgent spiritual messages to continue reaching those heaven has chosen. Your generosity creates a spiritual partnership that helps sustain this divine work in increasingly challenging times. If you recognize that you've been divinely selected for this revelation and are committed to responding, type 444 in the comments below as your declaration of spiritual recognition and readiness. Your participation matters more than you realize. As you move forward from this divine encounter, know that heaven's attention remains on you. This revelation isn't a one-time event, but the beginning of heightened spiritual communication in your life. Having recognized and responded to this divine selection, you've activated a spiritual receptivity that will continue. The coming days will bring unusual clarity, divine confirmations, and spiritual insights that build upon what began in these moments. Your spiritual senses will remain heightened as you notice divine communication that previously went unrecognized. You've been chosen not just for personal revelation, but to become increasingly sensitive to divine movements around you. This new spiritual awareness brings both blessing and responsibility as you learn to navigate with newly awakened spiritual perception. Jesus delights in your recognition and response to this divine communication. The spiritual connection established in these sacred moments remains active as you continue your journey with newly opened spiritual eyes.